Hi everyone, and welcome to Dismas Puzzle Pilgrim. Today we're going to be doing the daily puzzles on Netflix, namely the Starstruck and Sudoku, all three difficulties. We'll also be doing New York Times Wordle, and all three difficulties are pips. We're also going to go on to chess.com and take a stab at the daily puzzle and a handful of their more general puzzles. After that, we'll nip over to the Telegraph for a few of their daily puzzles. If we have time and if people are willing to put the channel points up for it, we might do some bonus puzzles on Netflix as well. Without further ado, let's get into it. We'll start with Starstruck, as it is my favourite. The rules for Starstruck are that we need to place a single star in each row, column and coloured region, and stars are not able to touch. We don't track the wins on easy, because I use it as well. Get my pen ready, because it helps me show some of the things that I want. Okay, so first thing is this here is this is a 2-block region in a single column, which means the only place in the column that can appear is in that orange, because they both touch. Because they're touching, and there's only two of them, they both touch there at the same time. So if it was a star here, it'd be touching that, and at the same time if it was one here, it's still touching. This is the green, which is the orange. Also got the yellow, there we go. This forces red into here, which is brown, grey, and what else we have? So blue is left here, so that's that. All three of these touch here, which is where the blue is, where the orange is. It's a nice one. Warms you up with having to look at where the row and column relationships are, and small shapes, not small basic shapes. With that, we'll move on to the hard. The only difference with the hard is that we will have to apply a lot more with the logic, and we do track the wins on this. Okay, so firstly we have this 2-cell region here, and then we have the same here. And we also end up with a 2 here. So the same thing that I said earlier. We block off this one, and that does give us got a 2-cell region here. These. This long T-shape would have excluded this if the star hadn't already done it, because all three are touching. This whole column looks up at it. The yellow has to be in this column, because it's all that's left, which excludes this one. I've only just noticed that this one, this column here, the only colour that's appearing in is orange, so the only way we can satisfy having a star in both the column and the region is to be there, so we can exclude that. Which leaves, this is the only square in this column that can hold the star, so we can do that. We are now left with just the one here. This is now a 2-cell region looking up, so we can exclude that. These two are both touching here, which is the red. What's that? The green. For a hard, that was particularly easy. Usually it takes a little longer than that. So we'll get set up ready for Sudoku. Hey there, welcome. We only have a couple of minutes to the first outbreak because we sailed through the Starstruck. So before I explain the rules for Sudoku and get into it, we'll just quickly go over to that, and then we'll get straight back into it. Back after these short messages from whoever Twitch decides. Which that's about the Sudoku on Netflix. We'll be starting easy. But the rules for Sudoku, if you've never played before, are that we need to fit the numbers 1 through 9 in each row, column, and 3 by 3 cell. Additionally, on the easy, I try not to take any notes, just using it as a warm-up. So, the first thing I can see straight away is these two ones. Line up over here against this one. The other thing I'm noticing quickly with the ones, these twos give us this one. One's well, the twos at the moment. Threes gives this one. These two threes look into this box with this one, forcing a 3 here. These two look down into here, and this one's cross gives up, and we can't solve these two yet as they are paired up across these two boxes. And this 4 looks into this one, giving us that one. So we can quickly spot the 4s. This 5 looks up giving us this one. These two look across giving us that one. These two look down and across this one giving us that. And we end up with head 5s across here, so we can't solve that yet. 6s, we know that the 6s are going to have to be in one of these two, which looks down with this one, forcing a 6. Yeah. Can't spot anything else quickly. All I'm seeing so far with the 7s is thanks to them having to be here, 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 that forces the 7 here, but I can't really do anything with that. I'm not taking minutes. 8s, let me see, there is that one. And now I've done that, I look back at the 7s, and we know that there's one there. Let's see. Oh. Yes, because I was thinking it was down or here, so never mind. These two 8s give us this one. it's one of the pitfalls of not taking notes. So only place, only number missing in this box is 9. Is this one. Fortunately, and that looks like it's across a few areas. So we'll cycle back. So we've got these two ones going as this one now. Okay, so the one has to be here. It looks across and excludes that box. This one and this one goes there. And we're left with that one's almost there. And this two looks down, plus 2 here. This one looks down, plus 2 here. And then with triple 2s, so we can't do anything with them at the moment. The 3s are still paired. Still to use one, so let's see if the 6 gives us that one. The 6, and the 6 goes here. These 2 goes this one. These 2 goes this 6. And the 6 is I think this is 7 there. This 7 looks in here against this one. 7 looks across against this one. And then we're left with tripled 7s across there. Not seeing anything. It's not really yeah. Well, nothing. So we can cycle back around because, like I said, I'm doing my best not to use notes. So even if I don't explain exactly how I'm getting the numbers, I like to try and click through so that you guys can at least see the logic that I'm following. This one's there. You end up with triple doors across here. Still not able to finish solving it. So these 2 6s, and this one goes a 6 here. These 2 look across, and this one goes down against that 6, which finishes the 6s. Still nothing with 7s. Okay, so 9s, that one looks across, that one looks down against there. These both look across this one. So it's this one, these 2 look up, it's there, finishing 9s. So look back to the 2s. Okay, so the only place in the column for a 2 is here, because this one looks across. And then we're left with all the 2s there. Okay, 3s are still doubled. Still got triple 3s, 4s, sorry, 5, still double, 6s, the 7 looks up against this one, which one is that, this 8 looks up against there, they both look into this box against this one, looks across for there. The only place left for 2 here in this box is here. And these 2 crossings here. These 3s give us this one, which looks down as this one. And this 4 here. It's always missing this box. And always missing that box. One's fives. So it was a nice warm. Very medium. I'm very glad they've fixed the order that it was shown in. For a while it was showing the medium and the hard the other way around. The rules for the medium are the exact same, but I will start using the notes function at some point. Okay, welcome. I'm not seeing anything but ones. Twos. Okay, that's the twos. These ones give us that. This one, this one, this one gives us 2 here. This one and this one gives us 2 here. And then we end up with double the 2s here. And the 3s end up through there. Here. So yeah, we can't finish the 3s yet, so they're doubled. These 2 4s give us this one. No, nothing with the rest of the 4s yet. All I can see so far is that the 5s will end up here in this column. I can't quickly narrow it down any further than that. Sixes end up here and here. Can't do anything else with them. Apart from in this column here is the only place for a 6. What else? Not seeing anything at all. 7s. Well, only place left for an 8 here. Eight there. Yeah, which gives us the 8 here in the column, but it's not nothing to do with that. 9s are going to end up here because they end up here and here. These 2 are the only ones left in the row that they can fit in. Can't really do anything else aside from that, really. If they look down here, then they're also doubled there. Yeah, this 9. Which only use those 2 gives us this one. Which with that one gives us this 9. Yeah, as far as we can get with it. So we'll do one more pass with just the numbers before we get into doing any notes. So the 1 has to go here, which looks across with this one. That. Double jumps there. Still got just paired 2s there. 3s here. And here. Paired. This one. I haven't seen anything else with that. 5s still being elusive. Still to go off the 7s, the 8s, so now we'll move on to notes and I'll do them in with each 3x3 box. So we already have the 1 and 2 here, so we'll move on to the 3. 4 and this cluster. 5 and just here. Already have 6. Nothing to exclude any of the 7s on this box. Eights over here. So now I'm just going to quickly scan the box, see if there are any obvious. And I can't see any. So we've got quite a wide spread. So I'll go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So it is 7, 9 in here. So that excludes that 7 and 9 from being present in the rest of the row, or in the column, sorry, which we'll explore when we get into this box. So now we'll move on to this one. One's here. Two's there. Fours. Even less to exclude. Sixes end up here, so that is a 1-6 pair. So I can remove the 1 and 2, which actually leaves us with just a single place for the 2. To solve the rest of the 2s. And what I mean by a 1-6 pair here is that 1 and 6 are the only numbers that can appear in this box, so there's no point in noting any others, and if they can only appear here, that means that like if we were to end up with this formation after filling in the whole box, for example, if this was a 4-7 pair here, for whatever reason, we ended up, it should be actually, no, I was looking at it wrong, never mind. So if that ended up being a 4-7 pair, we'd be able to remove that 9, and it'd force the 9 into here. So yeah, we'll carry on. I don't think there's anything to exclude any 7s. So we'll just all of it. 8s. Just have a quick read to see if there's that. Just the bottom. With 9s. The only place they can appear in this row is here. So we end up with the 9s and... oh no, we've got a quad here. So I should be able to remove 5, 7, 8, 9 around these boxes. So that should be a 4, 3 pair. If the 3 can fit there, which it can't. So that ends up just being the 4. That's just the 3. Just the 3 over here. Solves the rest of the 3s for us. Okay, so we'll move on to this box. We're going to go for 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 here, 6s, mirror, nothing to exclude 7s, and similar with 8s. So in this center box, one's here, we get 2, 3, 4. To exclude 5s. 6s. So there's nothing we can do with pairing any of the other. So already. Nothing to exclude any of the 5s directly, but 5 is always missing from here. What else is there? It's missing from there. 2, 3, 4. So it's the 6, which can't go here, so we just put the 6 there, which gives us that 5. I can see that we've already got a number left on its own there, but we'll go back and solve that once we finish the rest of the notes, because it might actually help with solving the puzzle objective, rather than just that. But I suppose we could actually. Let's do that properly. There's no harm in doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just read the 7 from there. 4, 8. Bottom left, we already have 1 through 3. 4 has to go here. 5. 6 to come there. So we have just 6s here. To exclude 7s from any of it. 8s go. Yeah, we already have the 9, so I'm not seeing any quick pairs there. 1s here, 3, 4. 5s. 6s match the 1s, so we can remove that line. 7s again. So these 7s look down, forcing the 7s to be here, which leaves us with a -5. So it's that 7. Because they were paired, I shouldn't have put the 7 there, which should have revealed it. So we've got a 1, 6 pair along this column, but that doesn't put anything else in the rest of the column. Looking for little things like that. We'll quickly move on to the 1s. The 1s, okay. We get 3. This is the only place for a 4. 5s, 6. Nothing to exclude any 7s in this box. Must be 8s. Yeah. And the 9s are. That gives us a 7 on its own that we can fill in. Which forces us here. So at this point, I'm just gonna go through everything that's been every time you fill in something that the notes are revealing, and it looks like this is going to solve down quite nicely. Okay, so there's the medium win for today. With that, we'll move on to the hard, which we make the exact same style of approach with. So the first thing I'll be doing is looking for anything that it gives us for free. And I'm really surprised that we get a 1. Okay, let's press the right key. 2s. I'm not spotting anything quickly, apart from the fact that they're going to have to be here. I can't really do anything with that. That's fine. The 3s. And 4s. Let's do 5s. This one. Those 6s, those are too weird. 7s, at least 3 give us that one. This one gives us that 7. There's not really anything I could do that D8s. Yeah. Okay, so this 9 looks up, telling us the 9s have to be here, which then looks down, and it's this one. It looks like all it is. I'm going to do one more pass. Just try to solve the numbers, and then we'll move on to making the notes. Do that. 2s. Still do with it. Not really spotting much else. Briefly. Yeah, so I'm just going to move on to the notes then. So we already have 1 through 5 here. So 6s, 7, 8s here. As do the 9s. Okay, so that's left us with 6 on its own. Just go through box by box. 2 7, 3. 4 is here. Here. Is 7 is here. Not a lot to stop here. 8. Or the 9s. So there's a lot going on there that I can't break down with any obvious pairs, because the things that looked like they could have been early, like the 1 and the 2, with the 1 overflowing here, and then I was getting other digits in there that overflow as well. I can't really break that down further. So, like I said, we'll just keep going box by box, making our notes. Here, maybe that's 7. Nothing stopping the 8s from the looks of it. And the 9s is up in this hole. So again, not really anything to let us break that one down. So this one. Yeah. Take across like that. These end up matching 2s. If anything else does, then we'll end up with a triple. Fours. We got 6s. Okay, so I didn't spot this earlier, but we do end up with. So that will actually give us a 2-3 pair there, so I can remove that 4. And the 8s, they end up in this column, because we also have these 8s looking down. Well, it's this one. This one across. And then we have these 9s. So that's a triple along the column here, and then we have 2-3 pair to work with. We'll keep going, so we end up with 1s here. Whilst I spot it, knowing that the 1s have to be here and having this one, we're going to remove 1s. So 1 being in those boxes would stop us being able to put a 1 in any of this 3x3 at all. 2s we have here. that's a 1-3 pair, so I can remove that too. Fours end up here. Actually, can't place anything here. Fives. Here. Trying to check to see if that affects anything. It does with fives. We can remove them. What's this? We already have the 3 in this box, so that's where that ends. We already have the rest of it. So it does also affect the 4s, I'm seeing there. So we can remove that 4. Looks like it. So then we'll move on to the next box. Nothing to exclude any of the 1s. We got 2. Nothing to exclude the 3s. We got 4. 5s were here, 6, 7, 8s. Yeah. Unfortunately, that is quad. There's nothing I can see about it now. So, we already have the 1. To exclude the 2s. Or the 3s. And we do have with 4s just here. I'm not seeing anything to exclusion from the rest of the column. Over here we already have the 1. Not a lot to exclude. We have this one. Right, so if we have a quick look over here, so you'll see that there's notes, like there's a 2 paired across here and the 2's here. Which is leaving this and this not down, so the 2's have to go here. 3's, these ones are down. Can't do anything to some of the 3's over here, so we just end up doing the rest of the column. 4's, we also have the 4's down, so it's here. 5's, match the 4's. 6's end up here. 7's across here. 8's match. And then the 9's end up here and here, which gives us the 6. Not spotting any pairs quickly, so we'll try and quickly move on because we do have a night break coming, but I want to see if we can get the notes finished before ready into the 2's. Nothing to exclude any 3's in here. 3 and 4. Not much excluding 5's. 6's and not one there. Let's see. Clear. 7's end up here. 8's. And we already have the 9. Okay, so just before we dig in and try and look for any emerging pairs now that we've finished the rest of the notes, we will pause so that no one misses any of the puzzle, and we'll quickly go to the ad break, and we'll carry on with any logical deductions we can make from there. I'll speak to you all very shortly. back. We're just in the middle of the hard Stuku on Netflix for today. We got to the point where we checked for any free numbers and also did all of the notes. So now I've just got to start looking through, seeing if we can pair up any numbers to be able to make more exclusions and hopefully start solving down the puzzle. So first I'm just going to look through number by number, seeing if there's any patterns that I haven't spotted yet. Not seeing anything yet. Unevenly spread, which makes it really hard to make it happen. It's from looking at the numbers. Okay, so now I'm going to have to work through row by row and column by column. Spread. Which is not very good for me. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to go to doing a look ahead. So, because I didn't have to do a look ahead earlier, I'll explain how they work. A look ahead is where we use doubled numbers already, and we assign it one of the two values it can have, and see if it breaks the logic of the puzzle. So the first thing I need to try and do is find something that would be deemed powerful, so it'd have a great effect on the puzzle, cascade down quite a lot, which is why we tend to start with looking at doubles. So one of the big ones I'm spotting is this one here. Will have quite an effect on wings. There's a good chance one of these 8 9s do as well. For example, this being an 8 would affect quite a lot. So I think I'm going to start with this one being 8. 9. Being an 8 gives us this 1. 2 4 there. And 4 9 here. Okay, so we'll keep looking. I think that is actually as far as it goes. Because we end up with 2 4 and 9. So that's 2 4 4 9. Or 2 4 9 and 4 9. So we end up getting a triple out of that. seems that that turned out to not be as powerful as I'd like. So we'll try again, this time with the 9 and the 8. Or it might just mean that this is not the one that we need to look at. And it is seeming that way. That one is not helpful. So we'll pick another. And I'll try this as a 2. So this is this 3, which gives us 2 4 pairs down here. Puts this into a 3. This one and this time. Excuse me. That 1 and 3 forces this into being an 8. This 2. Yeah, so unfortunately, it's just going to be trying to solve it with this at the moment. Keep going with this until it breaks the logic of the puzzle. By which I mean that we end up at a point where we have to place numbers that would not work. So, for example, getting something that would force us to put like 2 4s in the same box. With a 7, 8, 9 triple there, but 1 and 3 doesn't affect anything here because we've already accounted for that. Hey, I've spotted you in the stream for a while, Wildstar. Okay, so this 3 here I'd actually give us that. Looks cross forcing the 3s here. And because the 3s are forced here, and the 3s are here, we end up with 3 there. Which makes this a 1 here. They look up giving us here. And 1 there. Right, so far this isn't breaking, which makes it feel like it might actually be a viable solve. Let's say 7. 6.3. So I've got 3 here as well. So that was 5. Still not got anything to finish up the 5s. So the 1s. What's this? 8, 5. Just the 3 here, which I still can't do. One of the hard things about trying to do look aheads is trying to read through my notes whilst I've got the other numbers on there. So I think this should be forced into being a 2 for everything else that's in the column. Which gives us 3, 8, and 6 in these. So we have 8s here, 3s here. That 3 has to go here. The 8 looks now good. That's an 8 here. That has to be a 6. This 8 looks across. This one's down. It's here. There's not a lot I can do with that. So that ends up being 4, 5, no, 4, 3, and looks over here, give us a 2. 3 over 2 and 3 gives us this 4. And then 1, do 2s, and take up the moon, so up here. 3 and 4. 5, here, 6, 7 goes across, this 7 goes down, so we have 7 here, 8, and now here, still nothing I can do with that, 9s, 3 at the 9 across here, 9 across. Now, I'm not seeing anything with that. Okay, if the 7's there, that's an 8-9 pair, which gives us 7 here. Trying to do these look aheads is a bit of a mind bender sometimes. It's 2 8. Can't break that down. What's missing from this row? I have 2, 3, 4. So that'll be 5. 2, 8, 8, 9. I'm surprised we haven't hit a breaking point at all, which leads me to believe that this is right. But there is also a chance that I'll build something out wrong whilst I've been trying to look ahead. So this is 5, 8 at the moment. What is this? This is 8, 8, 9, and 4, so 2, 6. Not sure what to do with that. 5's here. 5's here, there's nothing I can do with that. There is a chance that, although it's looking right so far, that I will hit a point where it just goes nope. So I can't start hard filling in numbers yet. Okay, so 8, 9. The 1, 5 here. 6. Still that. So I can remove the 1, remove the 5, remove the 8. That's 8, 9, 5, 8, 5, 9. So we end up with a 5, 9 triple along here, but there's nothing I can do with that. And it's 4, 9. I've already got 5 in the column. It's 5, 8. Top 4, 2, 9, 2, 6, 8. I'm going to switch colours and then do another look ahead. So I'm going to start with finding something that seems like it's powerful. This is an 8, 9 pair. How much will that affect anything? If I start with these, it doesn't look like it's going to affect much. So I'm going to start with this being the 9. Because it was the 8. We have the 3, so that's 2 equals this 8. 4, 5, 5, 6. Okay, so oh, we already had an 8 there, so I can actually go back. So, like I said, sometimes it is just hard to see through the notes when you already have numbers written down. So this 8 looks across, making this a 9. We have the 8, 7, 5 gone, so that is a 6, which makes this a 1. 6, 9, that's the 9. I did warn you all, I can occasionally be blind to notes that I've already made. So, can be a 2, it still can be 4, can't be nice, it's 2, 4. It's 2, can't be 4, can't be 6, can't be 8, so that is the 2. If the 1, 2, and 9 are gone, that has to be a 4. 4's already gone, that is 4, 9 here, which is valid. That's 2, 8, so that has to be 8. If that's an 8, that has to be a 9, because we've got 7 in the box, which makes this an 8. Or an 8. That makes this a 5, which makes this a 9. What are we missing in this box? 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. I think it's breaking a bit. 5. 6. So yeah, I ended up getting there with a look ahead, but so I would just go through and start writing these numbers in hard. If it turns out that I was wrong, we'll just chalk this one up as a loss rather than wasting anyone else's time. I'm not hitting anything telling me that the logic broke yet. So it does seem like I got there the slightly cheeky way. Yeah. A win is a win, but unfortunately we had to get there via look ahead. Now that we're done with that, we're going to move on to the New York Times. We're going to start with the pips. Start with the easy my version of the track, so you can see that. The rules for pips are that we need to fit the provided dominoes, you can now see all of, into this grid. We are given logical operator clues. So this section here tells us that we need to put dominoes where both sides are equal. We don't, because dominoes both have two sides, the only way we can fit them into this shape like this, which means two sides. So for example, this one and this one would have to go in here. Might actually end up being, I know we've got the threes as well, that's okay. Right, okay. So yeah, as well as having to work around the shapes we also have to work with these logical operators. So one side of the domino here is going to have to be greater than 3, this one will have to be less than 5, and the dominoes in here will have to add up to, or the parts of the dominoes in here will have to add up to 2. We don't have any rules telling us what happens with these blank ones. With this being a double, that has to be this 3, as it's the only double-sided domino we've been provided with. For greater than 3, we do actually have a few things. It could be for less than 5, we've got the 4s and the 3s and the 1s and the blank. So it's only the 6 and the 5 that can't go here. To make 2, we only have 2 ways of doing that. It's a blank and a 2, or 2 1s, which means we're actually it actually has to be these. No, that's greater than 3. So the wrong way around. Which means this has to be the 3s, and to be less than 5, it's the 4. And there we go. Moving the box won't help the stuff that's hardwired that keeps dropping out. Okay, so we'll move on to the medium. Okay, so again, we've got similar logical operators to what we were given earlier. One major clue we have here is because it's got equals, the only way we can fit 4 things that are equal into here is just to have a double there, which gives us the rest of this. Yeah, no, the stuff that's wired in keeps dropping out as well, so it's not just that. Like, it being where it is might cause the range problems that we have, like trying to move further through the house with it, but that's it. Okay, so what do we actually have that we've got 4 of, and a double? So we've got a double 1, but only a single 1. Yeah. We have a double 3, and we have enough 3s. Double 4, and we have enough 4s. Quite a few 4s actually. If we use the double 3, we've got 1 left over, so we can still have something here. Because we don't have any blanks, this is going to have to take up all of our 1s. Which leads me to believe we're going to end up with that. That's going to place another double here. So what are we left with? We've got doubles with the 3s and doubles with the 4s that can still go here. I'm just trying to quickly process, right? So this 5 here, we can't use the 5 to make the 10. Because we don't have a second 5 to add to it, which means this has to be 6-4. So I'm just going to make a quick note of that. Which means this can still be the 3s, but the only way to do that is to make sure that that's 6-4 there. Or, yeah, in here, I mean. Which is working so far. We'll keep on with that. Which leaves us needing to put the 4s here. So do that, and then that is less than 4 with, I think that's 6. No, greater than 4. Sorry. So yeah, we managed the medium there. And we only have a couple of minutes for the next ad break, so I'm going to push that just a touch early. and then we'll go straight into the hard. And we'll be back very short. We're just about to hit the hard hips for today. Okay, so that is a big mess, but the first thing that we can do is we can actually get quite a bit of our geometry just from noticing that we have these bits that stick out. So I think it actually gives us all of our geometry. Yeah, so it gives us all of our geometry. 17, there is only one way to make a 17. 665. So I'll just make a quick note of that. Removing 2 of the 6s still leaves us with 3, so there is a possibility that this is the 6s. That's the 3. So none of the 6s can go here. 5s attached to less than 3, we actually have 3 of them. So I've got nothing to narrow that down. The one thing I can narrow down is this needs to be the 6-5. To be less than 4 with what we have here. It needs to be the 6-3. So this has to be one of these 3 5s. It can't be the remaining 5 because that is equal to 3. And what doubles do we have? So we have a double 1. So I'm looking to see what this could possibly be. So we have a double 1, a double 6. That appears to be it. Yeah, I'm not being blind with anything. No, so this could be the 6s or the 1s. Can't tell at the moment. What 4s do we have remaining? Right, so we've got 6-4 in here. And we also have 5-4. So if I do 5-4 to match this 4 here, then... Oh, actually, no, I've just spotted something. The only way we can use a double here and make 2 is by using 1-1 blank. If we do that, then we only have 2 blanks remaining. Which are the blank 5 which is greater than 2, or by 2, which is equal to 2, so it can't be that. So that gives us this. We still have the 5, 2 and 5, 1, so we don't know which one this is yet. We've got 5 and 2 that's greater than 3. And enough options that are less than 3 that I can't guess this one. Lots that's less than 5. We still have these left. Now that I've done that, actually, this has to be that, which gives us that as the last 6, so that they're all equal. That 4 was important, wasn't it? So this now has to be 5, 5, which is the 5, 4. We need another 5 here with something less than 5, and it is all less than 5 that's left. And 2 of it is less than 3 for down here. For greater than 3, we're left with 2 of these 5s. So I'm thinking that has to go there. Then we get this. Not equal. The only thing that is greater than 3 is that. Then we're less than 3 and greater than 3. Okay, so I've done something wrong with. Ah, no, that 6, 4 was right. I'm trying to backtrack a little. Was this right? So, not equal is the problem here. I'm trying to match that with the greater thans and less thans. Let's try that. And for less than 3 there's a lot, but 5. So I need something greater than 3 to put with that. Can't do that. So now that has to be the 4 o'clock. Okay, so the stuff I have at the moment, like that's like locked in. That is all definitively correct. What have I got that's less than 3? Both sides of here. So one of these two and this one. All of it apart from this one can theoretically go here. All of the 5s apart from this one could go here and here. But 5 is the only thing that is going to fit there now. For greater than 3. So I think this is about figuring out the not equal bit. So I try this to be less than 3. Do that. Do this. I think it is less than 3. It's the greater than 3 that I keep forgetting about. All of it is less than 3, so the only thing greater than 3 is 5, so one of the 5s has to go here. Which doesn't work. Okay. So I seem to have gone wrong somewhere. I'm not sure how. So I'm pretty certain that the geometry is right, thanks to these bits that stick out. 665 is the only way to make 17 with the sides with a maximum of 16, with a maximum of 6, sorry. So this has to be the 65. to be less than 4. This is correct. Then the only thing that was left with a double and enough other things was 6s. And that was the only remaining 6. Then that had to be a 5-4. The only way to make 2. 1-1. And the only thing that was greater than 2 with 0 was this. So yeah, like at this point everything is correct. I just can't seem to figure out the logic I need to get in with this. So how about this? Less than 3? That is definitively less than, like, I've got to have done something wrong with this. Like, because I don't have a 1 blank that could be, so I'm just going to backtrack a bit. I thought I was doing a bit better than I seem to be. Okay, so yeah, no, that has to be 665. It is the only thing that adds up to it. Which gives me 65 here. The only 6s I have left, anything that is less than 4 is that. This is the 1 and the 6 are the only things I have left that are double. But the only way I can make 2, needing a full domino at least in one of them. Just like that. And then the only double I've got left that will fit into this equals is there. Which means this does have to be a 6. Okay, so one thing I didn't try for the greater than 2 was this. That might be where I went wrong. This has to be the 4-5. Because I don't have any more 6s to be able to make 10. Okay, so this is feeling this might be a bit more promising. So greater than 3, this still has to be 85. 85 and something less than 5. Everything that the 5 is attached to would work there. 5 and less than 3, we still have 3 options. So at this point, again, it is just trialing what could go in these, like not equal there, greater than, and less than, there we go. Wait. Ah, that needed to be a blank, so I definitely did something wrong there. I don't know why I ended up putting a 2 there. Okay, so those are all correct. I need blank and something greater than 2, which leaves me only with this 5. So I end up in the exact same position I was earlier. Okay, so the only place I can see that this one can fit is here. Because it's not going to fit here or here, because I need a 5 to finish both of these sums. It can't fit here because nothing on it is greater than 3. The only way it can go is there. And then the 2 blank doesn't fit. So does that have to be like that? And then I still can't get greater than 3. I might have to chalk this one up as a loss, you know? This one's not going too well. Not being glad, but this feels like the only way I can line stuff up. Let's see what I can do with those ones if I... No, I'm certain that has to be there. Which forces this. Double it. Yeah, like... This is... It's not good. Like, I know the geometry's right, it's the only way that all dominoes can fit. I need to use a 5 here, here, and here, and here. That is one more 5 than I actually have. I don't actually know what's happening. Let's try that again. From the top. So this has to be 6. There is not a 6 attached to something less than 3. The other 6 has to be here. Anything less than 4 is this. We only have 2 doubles. Yeah, we only used to make 2. Is that? Which means this needs to be a 0. That equals 2, and is not greater than, so that has to be that. And we have 2 4s available that can go here. So if I tried to do this, for example, that wouldn't work. Because this is not less than 5, it is 5. I have to do that. Which then leaves me needing 1, 2 more 5. 1, 2, 5s. The only thing with a double left to go here, and it does have to be a double because of the geometry. There's no other way to fit anything onto that cell. That forces this to be the 6. All my logic so far feels sound, but now I'm left in a bit where I need 1, 2, because of the numbers I'm left with, 3, 4, 5s. What? I only have 3 of them left. Oh no, I think I might have spotted something. There is another way to make two. One of my assumptions was wrong. So I can use this in here, and then I need the other blank. That is a possibility. Which leaves me with that. And then, no, the 4-5 still can't be there, so it will still have to be that. Which leaves me with a lot more options. But it does give me the ability to do this. And then, that forces that. And then for greater than 3, oh, so a 5 with less than 3, we end up with this. For greater than 3 and not equal, we end up with this. Wait, what's wrong now? That's not right. 10? Oh, okay. I've messed that up. So if that's that way, the only 4 that I can put in here is 5, 4. So then 5 there. Then I can do this. Okay. Oh, that one was hard today. It probably shouldn't have been as hard as it was because I messed up an assumption around this bit here, which really slowed me down. But we did get there, so that is going to be win number 62 on the pips, taking us to a total of 66 played. Yeah, that's right. With that, we'll move on to today's Wordle. No one has put in for suggestion, so it is a daily puzzle. So we'll go with daily. Okay, no A. No D are the biggest takeaways there, I feel like. Let's go with a thing that I never play. Okay, so I have a T. Okay, so I can't have first because I've already lost the I, the R, and the S. Can't get the fit because I've lost the I. Can't get quiet because the I. Yes. Okay, this one's feeling difficult. I'm going to be using a letter that I already know is gone. Just to try it. Oh, wow. Infect? No. No, because it's double F, isn't it? Emit. So the most I know is that there is an E and a T in there. Because like E is the only vowel left. Again, gonna have to use letters that I know are gone with the I just to try and get something. Oh wow, this is not going well. In about 5 minutes. Oh, I can push it a little early whilst I'm struggling with this. He doesn't know how the house is laid out. He's never seen the office before, has he? So, I was not that. I didn't know that was going to be a word. That hasn't helped. Oh, clutch one at the end. Right, so we're going to go to a slightly longer break. There's this one at the door. Back shortly. Really sorry about that, guys. We've done some missed time around to pick something up. So we're gonna carry on with the daily chess puzzle for today on chess.com, as we're done with the standard puzzles from Netflix and New York Times. Okay, so I do struggle with the daily puzzles sometimes, it's now quite clear to me whether or not I'm looking for checkmate or if I'm looking for just winning material. So, with the name being Hopscotch, I have a feeling that this is going to be based around knight moves. First thing I want to try and do is threaten the queen. Well, okay, so the other thing we can do is we can take this rook for free. Yeah, cool. Told you I struggle with these. Other than that, we can check, but we lose the knight. Okay. There we can threaten. No, we still don't threaten the queen. Okay. We can place a check with this bishop, guarded by the knight, and then we pin. Okay. So I got there eventually. I'm going to call it a win because I do struggle with the daily puzzles. That board doesn't work on the daily puzzle, so. Thank you. There's that one done. So now we'll move on to the more general chess puzzles. Like these, it gives you the objective of what you're looking to do, be it mate or win material. So I do tend to find them a little easier. Some of them can be crazy hard because they use quite a lot of steps, but see how we go with it. We will go in at least until the 3 daily solves are done, and then we'll see how the streak goes after that. Okay, I'd like to move in trouble with capturing. Okay, so the only way I can capture the knight is here. They take with the queen or the... Yeah, no, if they take the queen or the rook. Okay. No, it's not that. Okay, so... Can't see any other way of taking... it's that, so we pin, and then... Yeah. I'm not going to chalk that one up as a win. I'd like to move, find the game ending idea. That means we're looking for mate. Okay, so it's this. White to move, looking for mate. I don't know why it's saying soon, because I think we can get mate in one. Black to move, looking for mate. If we can go here, put the king on the check. Move forward, we go here, guarded by the bishop. So if we try and go here, pawn can take us. So there's 3. We'll do a couple more. Like to move, looking for mate. Feel like it's this. can't understand why it can't just escape here. It can, but then you just bring the other book over. Black to move, looking for mate. Okay, so we sacrifice the queen here. When the rotates, we take it with our own and get back rank mate. White to move, looking for mate. We push the king to here. Because this king can't move anywhere along this bit here. That's the our king. I think we'll do one more and then we'll head over to the telegraph. Now, black to move, looking to win material. Okay. So the material we're on about is this. So if we do this, it's one of the places I fall over when I'm playing games. I also see the. Let's just take. So I'm not going to call it a loss, but I will not add it as a win either. By the end there, we're in a very strong position. Knight and rook versus two knights. I think they're up. No, it's the only difference is knight for a rook. Yeah, not a bad day on Trust.com. So we'll head over to the telegraph. When that thing decides that it is not showing up on me, and I don't know why. Yeah, I have lost my mouse entirely again. It's only the second time this ever happened. So I managed to find the cogs at least. Struggling to get my mouse to work here for some reason. Let's turn it off, back on. Alright, I can see things highlighting as if my mouse is there, but it is. But the actual pointer is not showing up for some reason. This is very annoying. It's happened to me on stream once before. I can deal without it being back on its own at some point. I've got a couple of things that it is highlighting for me to be able to get a general idea of where it might be. But this is not conducive to solving puzzles. Oh, I don't even have like a custom mouse pointer or anything. We don't actually need the get that off the screen. Why is that mouse pointer? Why does my mouse disappear? Oh, I can't restart the computer. Right, that will It's not showing up at all. It's annoying. Apparently I'm here. Let's see. Okay, half. That's okay. No. This is becoming a little untenable. Struggling with today's for two reasons, apparently. That's a word I can look for. So I think this is going to be Stampede. Yeah. Oh, where is the mouse? Well, I was not expecting finding my mouse pointer to be part of today's puzzle, but yeah. Okay. So I found. Check. Example. Untest. Fantasia, Fail, Innovate, Stampede, Peter Pan, Nanotech, Pathclad. Okay, so it's this bottom one. Nope. I'm not trying to check. There we go. So, Ego. No go. Peter Pan, Nanotech. Stampede. This one. No. No, what's happened? Damn mouse. Alright. Remembered some of it. And innovate. Fantasia. Ego, renovate. There we go. I was getting it confused with innovate. Okay, so where is my mouse pointer now? Oh, show result. I don't want to do that. Right, so with the mouse pointer being gone forever, or at least until I reset my computer, I think. Oh, no, just that screen transition has sorted it. Okay, it is back. For some reason, the screen transition decided to fix it. Okay, so we can carry on. Okay, so sorted. We have to figure out the order for the start of nursery rhyme to end of nursery rhyme, but words in order that appear in hey diddle diddle. Something like that. Catford hill. Carpet goat moon. Something dog dish. Yeah. Famous Kevins by height. Kevin Hart is tiny. There are many, many jokes about that. Okay. It'd help if I knew who the rest were. Radiohead albums and release order. I have no idea, actually. This is just going to be trial and error guesswork. Yeah, like I don't actually know any Radiohead albums. I know they got track, that's it. We'll attempt the plus word. So the plus word is a mini crossword that also gives us Wordle style clues for yellows and greens. Ancient Peruvians. Inca, Aztec, Incas. It'll end with an S. because it's pluralized. Antlered animal. Deer, stag, antelope, gazelle. Come back. Old calculating instruments. So, abacus. No. Abacus is the only one I think of. Board as a train. Like you would board a train or get on. Oh, this one's not that well. Nobel Prize. Okay, so that's going to be. The end gave it away. Animal related to the raccoon. Just incur. Let's see. Yeah. He was being like almost like the idol, maybe. Berkshire town, I don't know. Berkshire, so this is the Sen? I think that's how you spell it. I'm gonna have to Google that. Safely. Instruments, so it's an old word and pluralization, a lot of words like this. It can be abaci. Check that. Yes, got that right. I'm gonna quickly check. Incas. Yeah, I was right, it is a C. Okay. This one's not going well for me, is it? Picture. Right, it's going to be image. Queen crop is elite. That best not be get on or get in. Gonna be though is can't we get in because we've already used the I and it's not marked, so it's gonna be on. Moose. Right, so even though I checked a few of them. Okay, so we got all the answers right. We know there's an M there. We don't have an actual clue for this. But there's a little we can deduce from the clues, and I think it's going to be, yeah. It's one of the few words I could think of off the top of my head that started with an M. Just in case we have any more tech issues, and we've done all of the ones from our rotation, I think, with it being a little over 2 hours now, we're going to call it for today. So thanks to everyone who came. Sorry about the tech issues and the delays that we hit. Hopefully there will be less of them in the future. So we'll call it there. I'll go to credits and you guys can get about your day. It's been a pleasure.